Oh, well done. So we're going to be starting with a lat pull down in a 4 to 6 rep range. All of today is going to be at maintenance volume. So I'm currently in a primer phase, so everything's going to be in a maintenance volume. So very, very low volume. Say volume again. And yeah, so we're going to be starting with vertical pulling for 4 sets in a 4 to 6 rep range. Then we're going to be going on to the chest press, 8 to 12 reps. So that's what we're about to see. So I'm going to try 4 to 6. Fucking hell.
And again.
Yep. With this one.
You got it, you got it.
Up. Yep. Easy. Yep. Nice.
Yeah, and then obviously the last one. Probably hopefully get 4. Your pulls?
Yeah. Go! What the fuck? One.
Come on, Jack. Come on. Take it.
Yep.
Take it.
Nice. Vertical pulling, 4 sets of vertical pulling, and then we went on to 2 sets of pressing. Vertical pulling was in a 4 to 6 rep range. The back is a very weak area of mine, so that's the reason why we've plugged it in first. And then we've gone in for some pressing. So this is an upper session. We've gone in for some pressing via chest. We went through the rationale of why we should have some sort of flat bench or incline press last vlog. And now we're going to be shoulder pressing, which of course is a new introduction to the mesocycle. So let's get it. Come on.
Very happy with the PB here. I think I hit 3.5 plates per side. Yeah. So 3.5 plates per side, not too shabby considering I haven't shoulder pressed in a while. But yeah, not too bad. I did 2 sets on the chest press and I did 2 sets on the shoulder press.
Nice.
But
I wanted to quickly touch on, before we do the tricep extensions, I wanted to quickly touch on the kind of RAR versus the RPE systems. They're not exactly the same. They are quite similar, but they're not exactly the same. The reason why they're not exactly the same is if you go for a RPE 7 on a 1RM, that's a rate of perceived exertion, so that's how how much you're perceiving you've exerted, if that makes sense. So obviously 100% 1RM is your max effort, 70% is 70% of your effort. Whereas this reps in reserve scheme, you can't leave 3 RAR on a 1 rep max, right? So that's where it slightly varies. Fucking hell.
So that concludes the session. We just wrapped up arms. So we did 4 sets of lat pull down. We did 2 sets of the chest press. We did 2 sets of the overhead press, shoulder press. We did 2 sets of the kind of dip machine, and then we wrapped up with biceps. We did 2 sets of hammer curls. The last 3 exercises in an 8 to 12 rep range, so nothing over 15, which is very enjoyable. But yeah.
Welcome to Sunday. Today is a very cool day actually. Number one, I'm going to do some client work, and then I'm going to watch a little bit of the UK DFBA. I believe the teens are on right now, and then after that, what we're going to do is go to where we got married. Some like this time last year, it was in August, so just over a year ago, we got married, and we're going back there because they're doing Sunday roast. Evidently, Rona had or Mr. Rona had different ideas in terms of having weddings this year, so they didn't have a lot of weddings. So we're going to support the cause and go for a Sunday roast. But I'm going to show you how I fit it into my macros, or how I fit it into my calories. I have 3,800 calories to play with, so I've actually got quite a high intake for maintenance calories. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to track it. You can eat out and still be abiding by your goals. Yeah, and I'll run you through that. But happy Sunday, although when you watch this, it's probably happy Wednesday. Or if you're watching it after, just happy day.
Natalie, are you excited about going to Swinford?
Yeah.
How excited out of 10?
10.
10. What are you actually having?
I'm having chorizo arancini.
Chorizo arancini for starter.
Arancini.
Yeah, arancini.
Beef.
Mains.
Beef.
Beef. Mains.
Beef.
I said beef for mains.
Yeah.
And what's for dessert?
Sticky Toffee pudding.
Sippy top. I've got cold cuts. Cold cuts with olives. Cured cuts with olives. I've got beef in red wine jus. And then cheese board. And we're going to show you how to track this, aren't we, Natalie? Via MyFitnessPal. Square, what are you eating?
Oh, eating beef.
Do you know why we call him Square?
Oh,
He's got a square face.
square face.
So, What a transition. So how the hell do we track? How the hell do we track this? It's like salami, it's like some tomatoes, some olives. So how do we track this? Well, let's jump into my phone, ready? Here is my phone. So, very, very easy. I mean, yeah. All we do is just type in salami. Here we go. So, I mean, let's just transition back to a freeze frame and assess, is this really 100 grams? Is that 100 grams? Probably not. Come back. So, I estimate that to be around like 25 to 30 grams. Let's just say 30 grams. So right now, that's 7 grams of protein, that's 9 grams of fat, and 0.3 grams of carbohydrates. We're just gonna plug that in right now. So for our lunch right now, we have salami. There was also some olives. So there probably weren't queen olives, so there were some black olives. Let's just do black olives. Let's just call them all black olives. And there was probably around 30 grams of black olives. So we have 15 grams here, which you're going to put times 2. So that's 15 grams right now. And then there's some watercress, which I'm not really going to track. If you're in a fat loss phase, I would definitely recommend tracking. But since I'm in a massing phase, generally that would probably be around like 7 or 8 calories, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And because I don't know what they because I don't know what everything's been cooked in, or not even cooked in, but like how everything's been cured, I'm just going to add a fat macro of 5 grams. And there was also some tomato again, which I didn't actually eat. I don't like tomatoes by themselves, so I'm not going to track that. So right now I'm judging this meal to be around 220 calories. It's probably not, but I like to be on the safe side. So we're just going to go back to Swimford. So that was a beef roast. There was also veg, which I didn't actually vlog, but that was actually just veg. So how the hell do we track a beef roast? Well, very simple actually. Let's go back to the phone. So for this, let's just call it our pre-workout meal. So that was how we track our starter. So we have some beef. So we're just going to call it, I suppose we might call it roast beef and just see what comes up. So roast beef, 2 ounces. There was probably around 4 ounces. Let's just say 5 ounces. That'll be 1 ounce. So 5 ounces of beef-ish. So that's 32 grams of protein, 7.5 fat, and 0 carbohydrates. So plug that in. We also had a Yorkshire pudding, which is very easy to track. You just track it as an Aunt Bessie's, because the Aunt Bessie's suck. So there was one of them. There was, again, watercress, which I'm not going to track. There was also gravy, which would have been done via a kind of a beef stock. So we're just going to type in beef stock. And probably around 250 ml. Again, I like to overtrack when we're out. There was also some like Swede puree, which I'm just going to account for Swede mash, which was basically what, there was actually that on a dinner table as well. It was actually a Swede and carrot mash. Let's do Swede carrot and potato mash from Marks and Spencer's. There was about 100 grams of that. 100. And then we're just going to do mixed veg. Mixed veg. There was probably about 300 grams of veg on my plate. I did pack up quite a heaped scoop. And that was about it. Again, what I'm going to do for this is... Oh, actually, I'm missing potatoes. There was probably around 200 grams of potatoes. A roast dinner isn't actually carb friendly. I did have to carb pre and post for this meal. So we're going to add fat macros as we didn't know what everything was cooked in. We're going to add 10 grams to this, and then carbohydrates, I'm just going to plug in around 25 grams. This is my usual, and that's basically how I track that meal.
So right now everything's coming out at about 1,139. So again, it's not like a roast dinner is very, very easy to track. It's not the end of the world, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, that's how I normally track it. Obviously, if you are kind of a bikini girl, it's quite hard to track or quite hard to fit into your calories. But generally, like a roast dinner is it's just really meat and veg really. The only kind of fattening part is maybe the beef and the Yorkshire puddings, but apart from that, completely fine. Now, I really regret this decision because I was quite, after them 2 savoury meals which are quite kind of salty, I did really fancy something quite sweet. So the cheese board wasn't a go for me, but we're going to track it. I didn't actually have much of this at all. You can see here, which I'll transition back and I'll freeze frame it, but you can see here that they only gave me like 6 Ryvita size like crackers, so it's very, very hard. It was very, very hard for me to eat all of that cheese, even if I wanted to, because there was like 3 blocks of cheese. There was brie, there was like an Applewood, and there was a Stilton. Trying to eat all that on like that little amount of a cracker was just stupid. So I didn't actually eat that much at all. So basically what I'm going to do is go to Stilton. I'm not too sure if I spelled that right. Stilton cheese. Oh, I did. I definitely didn't have an ounce. I probably had about 0.25. Let's go 0.4 just to be careful. And then I also had an Applewood cheese. I probably had about 30 grams of that. And the brie cheese. Okay, I probably had about 30 grams of that as well. And then we got the crackers, which I'm just going to track as a Jacob's cracker. And I only had about 3 of them. 3 pieces, there you go, that's probably over tracking there. And that is how I'm going to track it. Again, I'm going to add fat. I'm going to do 3 and then carbs. I'm actually not going to add any carbs because that I probably over tracked. So for that whole meal, 3-course meal, I'm coming out at about 1,500 calories, which gives me a lot to eat after. And I'm mainly going to plug in a lot of carbohydrates with a lot of protein, and then keep very, very low on fats. And that's what I would basically do. I would either, so basically how I would have structured my day, or how I did structure my day, is I had my cereal in the morning with whey. That's a kind of carbohydrate hit, and also a protein hit. And then I had this, which is about 1,500 calories, which took me to around 2,000 calories, which left me at about 1,800 calories to eat. So I got home, had some protein. I actually had exactly the same meal. I had cereal with protein. And then last meal I had a fajita meal, but I didn't have any wraps. I just had chicken fajita with the rice. And that took me to my calories. Actually, no, I did have I had a lot of cereal that day. I had another bowl of cereal. And that took me to my caloric goals. Sick.
Jess, how was your meal?
Beautiful, thank you. How was yours?
Good.